the green iguana species. We have 11 of these adult ones, we have 13 of the juvenile ones, and we have 46 baby iguanas, right? We're gonna be touching them, holding them, and learning about them, right? So I know you're excited, but feel free to ask questions as well, right? Don't think about it just as a photo opportunity with this lizard. We want to at least learn something about these guys today, right? If you guys don't learn about the iguanas, at least remember my name. um, I'm Nigel, George, right? So these iguanas, right? We got green iguanas, but in Belize we have two kinds of iguanas. You have green iguanas and you have black spiny tail iguanas. The black spiny tail iguanas are not a part of our conservation because they are not endangered. They are not threatened. They are not basically being killed, hunted, or anything like that. There's no problem with the numbers of them. Therefore, there's no point of having them a part of a conservation. If this was more like a petting zoo or something like that, maybe I would have one. But for right now, we're trying to do conservation. This species called the green iguanas, in my country here in Belize, people love to eat them. Right? It's a food. It's a very common dish. It's a very common thing for people to hunt these iguanas in the Easter time. At this time of the year, it's the only time that these girls are pregnant. And at this time, this is when the locals want them. People do not want male iguanas. People want only female iguanas, and they want them only if they have eggs. So like right now, the 10 females that I have, they would have been very vulnerable if they were in the wild. When people tend to hunt them, they're not hunting them with shotguns, pellet guns, nothing like that. They're making homemade slingshots, you know, a piece of crutch of a stick, a rubber band, a rock, hit them in the head, they fall down, go and sell it for 20, 30 bucks, you know. People tend to eat a lot of these iguanas that there's not many of the females left anymore. So in our country, you might hear other guys say, oh yeah, there's a lot of iguanas in Belize. There is a lot of iguanas, but there's a lot of males, there's not enough females, right? This is pretty much the situation what's going on, but the opposite, where there's plenty of males, but there's not a lot of females. In here, I have a pretty lucky guy. His name is Gomez. One male, 10 girls. Right? He tends to have gotten all of them pregnant this year. Right? So we're gonna have a lot of babies in the next couple of weeks. Right now, they have been about pregnant for about over a month, and they got one more month to go. They stay pregnant for 2 months. One of the most interesting part about these iguanas and what we're able to do with these iguanas is to make them what we want them to be. I don't need to make boys if I don't want to make boys. I could make girls by just simply controlling the temperature during incubation. It's the temperature that will determine the sex of these iguanas. So like right now, these girls are pregnant. They have about 20 to 40 eggs inside of them right now, the size of a marble. But none of those eggs are a gender, till the female will bury them underneath the ground. We have a nesting area. You will get to see it. There's no eggs in there. Like I said, they are a month pregnant, one more month to go. When they bury them in different depths. They bury some at 2 feet, she buries some at 5 feet. The different depths will create the different temperature, resulting into making males and making females. All I gotta do is take all of those eggs and put all of those eggs in a cooler environment and keep the temperature lower, and I will have plenty of females. And that is what we do here. This project has been here for the past 25 years. Since 1996, we have been trying to basically readapt and basically put these iguanas back out into the wild, but in bigger numbers. When we get these iguanas, some of these iguanas are basically, their eyes are bulging out of their heads, their ribs are showing, they're basically tied up onto a tree, they've been shot with a pellet gun, they've been burned with acid. What people are starting to do now is stuff them with rocks. You know, I bought an iguana a couple of weeks ago, people had stuffed it with a rock. The iguana didn't have any eggs inside of her, you know, but people want to buy them only if they have eggs. So when I saw that big girl, you know, they had a lot of eggs, I bought them for 30 bucks. When I brought them here, they died in about a day, you know, and when I cut them open, a bunch of rocks came out. You know, people are crazy, you know, and there's crazy people all over the world. We got some of those guys here in Belize. But I am here to basically educate folks as well. You guys are here to basically keep this project up and running. So I do thank you all for stopping by and checking out my iguanas. The entrance fee you pay as a group will go back to this project, and this is how we are able to take care of these iguanas. So thank you guys very much for stopping by.